is our statics project. We built a quick jack for side of the road applications. It's collapsible. You can remove each section and it will store up in a trunk. And it also moves down alongside the car. So if there's traffic passing by, the jack arm won't be out in traffic. It's also configurable. Come down here. If you're on this side of the car like this and you want it to lay down across the side of the car, this works fine, but if you switch to the other side, it'll be sticking out the end. So you can remove this pin, switch this over, and then take this pin out and move it over in its reverse configuration to stay within the bounds of the car. And then operation, you want to demonstrate? Well, hold down there. Over. Yeah. Snap. There we go. Yeah. That locks the car in. It's got an over-center design, so it stays engaged, and you can change your tire. So we wanted to measure the height of this so we can install a load cell on a regular jack to figure out the load applied to the jack. So by measuring this, we know when lifted, it is at 12 inches high. So we will replicate that with a regular jack and the load cell. So to measure the actual force that will be put on the jack, we used a regular hydraulic jack and we installed the load cell and jacked it up to the exact same height that the other jack listed to, which is 1 foot from the ground to the jack pad on the car. Then over here on the load cell readout, we're getting about 492 kilograms. So that's what we will use for our calculations. Alright, so here are our calculations for the reactions that will actually be placed on the jack. We found the 10,086 pounds force coming from the car by putting the load cell. And we got the 492 kilograms. Then we did a unit conversion after turning it into newtons, converted it into pounds force. So because we can't actually measure the force applied to the jack handle when it's all the way on the ground, we compensated for that in the calculations by adding the 3-inch space that the load cell will occupy underneath the arm. So we accounted for that. And then coming over here, this is our free body diagram of it. So we wanted to solve for the reactions at Ly, with L for load cell, because we know we can actually measure that. We can't easily measure the load on the wheel because we do not have a very nice jack for cars, or scale for cars. So we'll calculate that, but we don't have a good way to measure that, but we can measure this. So to do this, we decided to sum moments about A, which we made this point right here in the center of the circle. And over here, we included the load P, and then Ly, and then the moment arm of 73 inches, and then the moment arm that P has on A of 3.215 inches. And then we were able to find Ly as 47.83 pounds force. And we also went ahead and summed the forces in Y to go ahead and get Wy. Although we can't really verify this, if we measure that Ly is around 47 pounds force, then we have a good idea that this is likely correct at 1,038.17 pounds force. All right, so here we are measuring it just like we calculated with the load cell all the way out here. We are getting a reading of around 33 kilograms. It fluctuates a little bit, which is 35. Equivalent to about 72 pounds force. So it's more than we expected by about, say, it's 20-ish pounds force. So slightly more. We're thinking that possibly the difference comes from the amount of play in this pin that allows the angle of the arm to change a little bit more than we would want, ideally. So we're thinking that could change the amount of force on it. So, yep. It's going. Are we on? So we decided to use the fish scale real quick just to kind of confirm measurements. And when it gets it just above, we're at about, is that 33?
Yeah.
About 33 pounds force. So this comes up a little short of our prediction, and that one is over. So based on the accuracy of these devices, and this is a 10,000 pound load cell, I believe, so it's kind of out of its accuracy range.
Right? So we have some conflicting measurements with our weight, but we think this is due to the load cell being old and uncalibrated, and the other method of weighing it was a cheap fish scale. So another thing that could be affecting our measurements is the angle here changes. There's a lot of slop here. Yeah.
So we think that this slop can be a result from this pin, which if we change and we could add a sleeve to, we think could greatly reduce it here, as it's only touching on the outside.